What we've got going on this afternoon, we're intending to shoot this Uberti, and this gun is a replica of an 1860 Colt Army. I believe I got this gun maybe three years back, and by the way, the box did come like this. I didn't do the destroying job, didn't have to, it was already pre-destroyed. Anyway, I probably fired this gun maybe a couple times, you know, once for sure, with black powder, round ball. But I've been interested here in working the last month with some conversion cylinders. I'll say I'm new at this conversion cylinder thing, and that might actually be an advantage for other folks that are just thinking about getting into it or don't have a lot of experience with it either, and you know, kind of wondering about it. So I'm going to go through here a basic idea of what I got planned to do today with the conversion cylinder. And this is the 1860 Army conversion for the 45 long Colt. If you're thinking about going to one of these conversion cylinders, there's a good chance you are familiar with some reloading, or have done some, or maybe you're planning on it. If you don't, you'll end up buying your bullets, and they can get kind of pricey, and you don't have a lot of choice as far as sometimes as the velocities and the bullet weights and things go. So anyway, what I plan to do here today is go through three different bullet weights. And the first one's 160 grain on the left here. Then I'm going to jump up to a 230 grain, and then finally to a 250 grain. And I'll be using the same charge behind each one of these. The 250 grain is sized to 450, and the 230 here is as cast. That's a tumble lube bullet, and the 160 grain is also as cast, and that one is also tumble lube with Alex. I've reloaded 5 cartridges with each style bullet, and I'm using a Starline brass, and this would be the Schofield brass. It's a little shorter than the long Colt. I suppose I can do a video where I actually load it in the long Colt. Might make a difference as far as velocities and that kind of stuff goes, speeds, and also it'll make some difference on pressures. But this is what I have loaded up for this first go at it. So we'll shoot 5 rounds of each one of these bullets, and we're going to end up getting some speeds hopefully, and we'll also see where they group on the target. It'll be kind of interesting because this gun is basically new out of the box, and the sights are original the way it came, so we'll get some idea of the position these bullets shoot in. You know, left to right can be a matter of how the hammer and things fall back, where the sight is placed, but you know, up and down we'll get some idea of how these things will shoot, how they'll perform compared to each other. Okay, the first ones we're loading here are 160 grain. The reason for that is they should shoot the lowest on the target, and these guns have a tendency to shoot high. So I'm afraid if I go to my 250 grain bullet, that would be this one here, right off the get-go, I may be over the paper. And I'll have an idea, at least with these lighter weight ones, where that gun is going to shoot at and what kind of paper, or how I got to adjust my target. So anyway, that's how we load our cylinder up here, and then we'll place the top on that. Fits down nice, and we'll put that in the gun and get to shooting these. There, we got our chronograph going. I'm kind of hoping that it likes the light conditions, because we kind of like to get some speeds here while we're doing the shooting. I've loaded up 5 of the 230 grains. I was pretty happy with that first first target as far as where it was shooting. It was right on the, maybe a little to the left, or a little to the right maybe, but first shot was left. But basically up and down, she was right on. Speeds were in the 500s. Probably could bump those up a bit. But, alright, let's see where these 230 grain shoot. Yeah, a little more recoil on those. I see somehow my camera must have moved here on me. I'm not sure if that's up there where that other one is. Again, I'll shut it off and go look. Yeah, like I say, I moved the camera so that wasn't on camera, but it's about the same height as the other one, and that one's flowing a tad more to the left. Third string, and this will be with a 250 or maybe it's 255 Lee cast bullets. I've added some paper up there. I suspect they're going to be hitting somewhere up in there. The other group wasn't that bad really. To the right, actually my crosswind would be drifting them a little to the left if anything, so that wind is not causing the gun shooting to the right. Alright, let's get these 5 shot and see what these do. Alright, we've wandered down here to the target. I don't know, there's 4 in there maybe. I have to check my camera and see, and I've got this one up here. I know that 250 grain Lee bullet, I've had pretty good luck in the past with that bullet. I'll have to load up some more of those and see if it's actually doing that. You know, one shot of 5, or one cylinder of 5, and something like this happens, you think, okay, but then the next cylinder you shoot, they're all over the place. So we definitely need to load up 5 more of those. Well, yeah, I just measured that group down there 7/8 of an inch. I don't think that gun is capable of doing that, and I know I ain't capable of doing it with my eyesight. So that's probably telling me that this next group is going to be widen things out just a tad. Should just quit where I retire, but hell, I am retired, so I can't do that. Okay, so what a guy won't do for science, I'm going to shoot 5 more. Chrono's been pretty nice to me. It must like the new battery it got. I shouldn't have said that loud, but too late now. Well, so here's our 10-shot group. 9 of them had a spread of a little over 2 1/4 inches center to center here. And I'm really impressed with that. I gotta say that with if you shot these guns some before, you get some idea what we're dealing with here with the little notch thing on the for the sight on the rear, and then that front sight, it's less than desirable, but it works, and looks to me like this thing with that 250 grain Lee bullet that's sized what am I sizing, 450 is really just hitting exactly where, pretty much where you're pointing the thing, or where it's leveled at. And this is, I didn't mention it before, but this is a 1 in 16 or 1 in 17 twist barrel. I'm not sure what the older versions would shoot, and I'm not sure when they switched to the faster twist, but I know some of the older ones are running like a 1 in 30, I think. So on the 44 calibers. So anyway, that's our 3rd target. Let's take a look at our second and our first target. Here's our second target that's using the 230 Lee truncated cone tumble bullet. You know, I've got 4 shots up in here and 1 down here, but maybe if I shot another 5 with this one, I wouldn't have a whole lot different group size than I've got over here. We are noticing that the highest shot here on this one up the top of the paper, and we got a good inch and a half or so higher. Center of that group, right at the top edge of the paper. Center of this group down in here, so we're shooting higher, of course, with our heavier bullet here. And the first one, using the 160 grain Lee, was pretty much right on the money. And again, decent group size. I think this one here was maybe possibly me, not sure, but because these are shooting a little left, but when that 250 grain came in, kind of kicked it, or shooting to the right I should say, that 250 grain slug kicked it back a little bit to the left. This one wasn't that much here. These were shooting a little more to the right. So there's our three bullets and 3 targets. I think what I'll do now is load this up with black powder, and find out where it's shooting with the black powder. So we're getting ready to load this up with some black powder. Not overly anxious to get it all dirtied up because of the cleaning operation. When I clean a gun, I usually go through everything, take the whole thing apart, take all the parts out and do that. But we will need to find out where it shoots with the black powder so we can compare that to the targets that we shot using the conversion cylinder. So we're going to get it loaded up, probably use around 20 grains of triple F, and that'll give us enough in here to give us some compression. You need to get enough powder in there so that that ramrod that shoves the ball down can actually compress the powder, or at least get the ball on top of the powder. Without that, they are a little dangerous to shoot. So 20 grains should be good, because I think they said the minimum is somewhere around 12 or 15 grains, maximum 35, and I'm not interested in going full on this one. I just kind of see where it shoots, so let's get it loaded up. Yeah, here's our first string here of 6 that we're shooting with actual black powder, and we're going to see where these hit on the target. Kind of a hang fire deal there. We got that cylinder to go off. Okay, loaded up a second string. Went to the 4.54 because 4.51 was just a little looser than I cared to see in there. So we did note that the Uberti chambers here, just I think a tad larger than the Pietas, maybe a couple thou. It makes a difference. So went with a 4.54, and we should have all the crap out of the nipples and things now on this. So let's see how these 6 do. Oh, that has a little more kick to her. So here's the targets we just finished shooting with black powder. First target here had some variation going on. I should have probably snapped some caps on the nipples, but I was too lazy or too cheap to do that. Might have avoided having this. Kind of had a hang fire down here. I think this is that one anyway. Got a 5 shots here, about a 2.5 inch group, I'd say. But I'm shooting, as far as the height goes, I'm doing okay, and it is shooting to the right, the same as the conversion cylinders are doing. Second target improved a little bit. Went to a 4.54 round ball. These things here are 4.51. As far as where they shoot go, I don't think it'd make a whole lot of difference on there. But the 4.51 was a tad small, so I went to 4.54 for those Uberti chambers. Speeds over here, I did get 4. Look at that high one there, 659. But that was in the group actually. I think I checked that out, so that wasn't the issue. So anyway, now we know where our gun is shooting with the black powder, and I'm happy that it's shooting as far as height goes right. I can make some sight corrections if I need to, widen the back sight out, or maybe modify the front sight a bit. So shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, had some good results today, and glad that we went through the process.